Farmer City, my guest on the phone today. Good morning, Sue. How are you?
Good morning. Happy Tuesday.
Happy Tuesday. You know, Sue, it was funny. I just got off the phone with the National Weather Service. You want to know what they told me?
Oh,
They told me
uh-oh. What?
we're headed to spring, Sue. He said, book it. He said, book it, Sue. We're headed to spring. Can you believe it?
Oh, I hope so. I'm tired of being teased.
Same. No, hopefully we are off to some great weather, and I'll tell you what. As we head off to that great weather, Sue, one thing that's kind of come on your radar and on your plate here lately is you need a pool manager there in Farmer City. What's going on? Because I know that in years past we've been partnering with the YMCA.
We did. And, it was a great partnership, and we were headed ready to start again. And they are undergoing some staff difficulties themselves. And so they've lost about 3 personnel. And so unfortunately, they're not going to be able to help us this year because they've got their own, difficulties. And so they can't afford to give us a person. I was thankful that he gave me a heads up as soon as he could. Maybe we can look at it next year, but this year we are advertising and in desperate need of a pool manager.
So what does that position look like, Sue? What does it mean to be a pool manager? Like, what do you ask of that person? What do they have to do? How about some of those things?
Well, the good news is I think some people hesitate to apply because they think, well, I've got to be, lifeguard certified and all of that, but they don't have to be. So it's really just managing pool operations. You'll have, staff of lifeguards and concession and front desk workers. So just overseeing that, scheduling them, making sure things are running appropriately. There's a little bit of oversight on the pump room, but that, is backed up by an actual, pump operator.
Mm-hmm.
So really it's like any other management type position. It's more oversight, supervision, scheduling.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not as scary, I think, as some people might think it is.
Very good. So now, would this person be an employee of the city of Farmer City? Is that how that would work?
Yeah, this year it would be for sure. They'd work for the city, and they'd supervise the lifeguards and the other workers, and yeah, it is a seasonal position. I would hope to get somebody maybe by mid-May or late May at the latest, and they'd be done probably by the end of August.
Okay, so yeah, very short term there. Sue, when it comes to finding a manager for the pool, I hate to ask this because you don't want to think about the negative side of this, but I know a couple years ago we didn't get to open the pool because there was a shortage of lifeguards, a lot of staffing challenges and that sort of thing. Is the possibility there that if you don't have a manager, the pool doesn't open this summer?
I just don't know. I can't answer that. I mean, yes. Am I afraid of what we're looking at? Yes. I am concerned about a late opening, a delayed opening, shorter hours, less pool parties, all of that. I think, we have the guards, enough to do, open, but obviously, yes, you have to have somebody in charge. And so that is a concern. So yes, I'm hoping, from where we sit today, it would be difficult. I wouldn't be able to probably open, but hopefully a month will give us the time to find someone and get going.
Sure. Now, with the pool manager, are you also looking for other staff out there for the summer?
We are still accepting applications for concession workers and lifeguards. We have quite a few that are coming back, but we always need more. And we are offering again this year to cover the cost of certification. They just need to contact the Clinton Y to sign up for a class. It's several days. I'm not sure if they do it like in the evenings during the week or on the weekend. But then the Y bills us as long as they come back and work for the city. So yeah, we'd love to have some more guards too.
Very good. Now remind us, Sue, the hopeful timetable on the opening and the hours of operation through the course of the summer. How about some of those things?
Yeah, the hopeful is obviously we do every year Memorial Day weekend, probably that Saturday is the goal. and then it's pretty much 11 to 7 throughout the season.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe lap swims. If we have somebody, we'll open up early for lap swim, like usually around 10
Mm-hmm.
or 11, and then open for the public at noon.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we're just going to have to evaluate staffing-wise. Do we close when school starts in mid-August, or do we have enough people to help us keep it open maybe during the week until Labor Day?
Yeah, yeah, sure. Very good. So important that anyone interested in becoming a staff member out there step up. It's a huge opportunity, and one of those quality of life things in Farmer City that you're able to tout to your community.
Yeah, and it's concerning, and I certainly hope that we can figure something out, because yes, it is well used and well liked, and certainly want to be able to offer it to the community, but we have to be safe, and so we need the proper people there. And so that's the priority, is to have that first.
Very good. Sue McLaughlin, City Manager for the City of Farmer City, our guest on the phone today. Sue, just to wrap up that piece of conversation, where do folks go to apply for the pool manager position or lifeguard or staff out there? Where do they find all those?
Yeah, they can see the ads, and the job application is on our website at cityoffarmercity.org. They can also contact the Clinton YMCA if they want to sign up to certify to be a lifeguard. Yeah, we also, I believe, we've posted the ads on our city Facebook page.
Very good. So check those out there. Sue, let's dive into the city kind of taking up its own zoning ordinances. Tell me about this. What's going on here?
Yeah, apparently, and I'm not sure how long ago, but I guess the city used to have its own zoning ordinance, but it eliminated it at some point along the way. And so right now we are under the county's zoning ordinance. So the county determines land uses for property within the city limits. And so the city is going to pursue adopting its own zoning ordinance, so that it's, anything within the city limits would be under city council purview.
So when it comes to making that change, Sue, what has to happen? I mean, is it just as simple as the county kind of relinquishes that to you? Is there a process for this? How does that work?
Yeah, there is a process. I wish it was simple, but first we have to appoint what's called a zoning commission. We have 3 residents who have agreed to serve. They help us create the ordinance, which we're not going to reinvent the wheel. We'll probably rework the counties. And then the council would have to adopt it. We'll have a public hearing. And then we create what's called a zoning board of appeals, which is 7 members from, the city, residents or business owners or whatnot, who will serve on this board to address things that come up. Now, the city of Farmer City, we're looking at some potential growth, but we may not have that much. You might have 1 or 2 meetings a year. But once it's in place, at least then we have the authority is within our jurisdiction.
Now, in terms of transferring ordinances that are already in place from a county level and making them the cities, this might be a really dumb question. Can you just copy and paste what the county has in place and then, make like 1,000 resolutions, or whatever, and then just approve them all? Is it as simple as that again? I mean, is the simplicity of that?
Actually, yes. So not a stupid question at all. Actually, our city attorney believes, yes, we can, so that everybody's zoning stays the same, that we just adopt the county's ordinance and then tweak it to, maybe delete or amend things that fit us a little bit better, but that everybody's existing zoning remains the same, so that there are no issues, no changes that we have to overcome. So yes, it is simple, but we're also going to have to walk through it and, tweak it to what the city, wants or doesn't want in terms of the ordinance. Yeah.
Why does the city want to do this? I mean, it makes sense, but why does the city want to do this?
I think we're on the cusp of some growth, and I think after discussing, things that we're looking at, we thought, maybe it would be better for us to have the ability to control how we grow, and not place it in someone else's hands.
Mm-hmm.
So we thought it would be just in our best interest to, if we're going to grow and build and, try to bring in whatever it is, whether it's housing or commercial businesses, that we decide where we think it's appropriate, what is allowed, how it's allowed,
Mm-hmm.
rather than placing it in someone else's hands.
Sure. Makes sense. Very good. What did I miss in that conversation, Sue? What's anything, that we haven't talked about that was worth mentioning in there? What did I miss?
I don't think so. I mean, it's going to take a little bit of a process. I will put out there that we're looking for members to serve on our Zoning Board of Appeals. It's a, like I said, maybe once or twice a year type board. And so we'll be looking for people who are willing to serve on that for us. So, keep that in mind. Feel free to reach out to me with questions or interest. They can email me at smclaughlin@cityoffarmercity.org or call City Hall. We'd be happy to walk them, with any questions they have. So
very good.
That will definitely be coming up. We'll be looking for volunteers.
Sounds good. Very good, Sue. Where do folks go to keep up with the latest and information about Farmer City? What's the best way?
Yeah, Facebook is our best, the City of Farmer City's Facebook page, and we do also place things on our website, cityoffarmercity.org.
Sue McLaughlin, City Manager for the City of Farmer City, our guest on the phone here for this morning. More to come with Sue on the WHOW Morning Show.
WHOW.
I'm Len Casper, the voice of the White Sox Radio Network. McLean County, tune into the Sox right here on 106.5 FM, WHOW.
Brought to you by Warner Hospital and Health Services, Baum Chevrolet Buick, Love It Once More Thrift Store, and Midstate Eye, all in Clinton.
Do you know what to do when a car is pulled over on the side of the road?
Get over!
First, reduce your speed. Second, change lanes if possible. Third, proceed with caution. These 3 simple steps can be the difference between life and death.
What if it's you that's on the side of the road? Do you want everybody to move over for you?
Do the right thing. Slow down, move over, and drive like your life and their life depends on it.
Hey, this is Todd Gleason from Illinois Extension here with a time change for our daily market report on WHOW. You can now catch our daily review of the commodity markets at 5:06 on all of WHOW's many platforms. You'll still hear all of our commodity analysts and weather professionals each afternoon, but at a brand new time. And you'll still hear the weekly wrap-up of the commodity markets right here on WHOW when Commodity Week airs Saturdays at 8:30 a.m. Remember the time change for the daily closing market report on WHOW at our new time, 5:06 p.m. weekdays.
For the latest in Central Illinois agricultural news, visit IllinoisFarmRadio.com. Get updated information on markets, weather, ag news, local interviews with NAFB farm broadcaster Jared White, and much, much more. All at IllinoisFarmRadio.com.
Connexus will provide local, reliable, affordable, and speed-of-light fiber internet to Clinton. Get on the install list now by clicking the Connexus icon at DeWittDailyNews.com. Fiber internet is coming to Clinton. Get on the install list now.
Your friend in Central Illinois, WHOW.
Once again, a good morning. Thanks for being with us. I'm your host today, Seth Lawrence. The WHOW Morning Show streams to Facebook and YouTube, brought to you by Peterson Insurance, your Pekin Insurance agent in Clinton. Again, my guest on the phone today, Sue McLaughlin, manager for the City of Farmer City. Sue, let's talk a little bit about the city pursuing some code enforcement things. What's going on here? What are you looking to do?
Well, we do a lot of code enforcement for, let's say junk cars in front yards. But one of the things we're seeing is we're an older community are some buildings that have structural issues, whether it's, front porches, handrails, stairways, overhangs, exterior walls, those kinds of things. And so we're going to be asking the city council to consider adopting a property maintenance code. So what that is basically allows us, the chief and I, or police and I, to enforce fixing those types of things. Sometimes it's not that their yard is, full of junk. It's that their building or their house is falling in. And it can be because it's dangerous. It also can be the broken window theory, where if you have one house that's, falling apart, it affects the values of the homes around it. So we're looking at asking the council to adopt that. It also, we're hoping, will address, there's a group, mostly from the Historical Society, who are interested in trying to save more buildings downtown. And we're of the same opinion. I think we both have our heart in the same place. But we're not sure that creating a historical district is the best route. That's what their suggestion was, because we don't want to, tie them to having to use certain materials or look a certain way to, keep their building in a good, structural position. So we thought, well, this way would be a way to help us enforce, keeping buildings in good shape before it gets to the point where they have to be demolished. And so I think we're going to attempt that first and see if we can't try to repair and, keep the buildings, the historic buildings that we have downtown.
Interesting stuff. So when it comes to code enforcement, Sue, we talked off the air about having a code enforcement officer, and that you mentioned that's kind of a costly thing to take on. So how do you do this? How do you go about this?
Well, we're going to use the police department like we do right now for the generic code enforcement, like for junk cars. Usually we operate on a complaint basis for the most part, unless we see something ourselves that we think needs to be addressed. But it's the same thing. We may see something, let's say somebody's, overhang is falling off or falling apart. We send them a letter. We say, hey, you need to, repair or replace this. We give them, time to get it done. We also offer financial assistance. A lot of these properties are within the TIF district and the business district, where we can help them cover the cost of those repairs. Mm-hmm. But if they refuse, we also have the ability then to, if we have to, take them to court. That is not the goal. The goal is obviously to get them to repair and take care of their properties, but that is a last option.
Right. And that's that kind of speaks to kind of a greater thing with a lot of things like this, is that it's not always about getting people in trouble or just mm-hmm. being on their case. It's really about making your community safer and looking better and those sorts of things.
Absolutely. And I really think some of the feedback we get is more structural property maintenance. It's not that there's a bunch of junk in the yard. It's that the property is falling apart, which then affects the value of the people of the properties around it. Mm-hmm. And mm-hmm. so I really think that this is a good next step. It does not require us to adopt a building code, which then you'd have to have a building inspector, which is another position we really can't afford. This would just be property maintenance to address structural and aesthetic things.
Right. Yep. Yeah, just getting that compliance piece, right?
Right, because we don't want buildings to get to the point where we have to, order them to be demolished.
Yeah.
And, this gives us a little teeth to try to get it done, but then we are going to be offering, financial assistance. So mm-hmm, mm-hmm. It's hopefully a two-pronged approach.
Sue, I look at the clock, yet still a few minutes here with you. What else is going on in Farmer City that you want to talk about? As the spring rolls around, what kind of comes to mind with the springtime?
Yeah, well, we're about to start paving roads, so people will be getting probably a letter just letting them know what's going to be happening if it's in their neighborhood. So hopefully those will start after May 1st. Our dog park, we're going to be staking out and installing the fence. I believe he said the fence is going up probably by mid-May. That's out at South Park. And we've got the bathrooms open now for all of our parks, and we got the porta potty out at our new Prairie Ridge playground. So we're ready for spring and summer.
Well, and also you're going to start seeing traffic pick up out there, Sue, with the Farmer City Raceway season coming up as
Absolutely.
well. Yeah, Farmer City Fair coming around, so a lot of things happening in the city this year.
BMX track.
Yeah.
Yep. Yep. Our baseball leagues have started. They start really early. I can't believe how early they start, but yeah, they're underway, and that's why I mentioned the bathrooms, because I know that can be difficult. We don't open them at the end of February, early March, because we face the potential for water lines to freeze overnight, and so it's unfortunate that we can't open them as soon as they'd like, but they're open now. So.
Very good. Well, Sue, just where do folks go to keep up with all the latest with the news in Farmer City? Also, where do they apply for those jobs with the pool this summer, whether they want to be the manager? How about that?
Please apply for jobs at cityoffarmercity.org, and the job ads are listed there, and they're also on our city's Facebook page. So give us a call, take a look, and come enjoy the summer with us.
Sounds good, Sue. We appreciate you making time for us today. Sue McLaughlin, City Manager for the City of Farmer City, my guest on the phone today. The morning show streams to Facebook and YouTube, brought to you by Peterson Insurance, your Pekin Insurance agent in Clinton.
WHOW.
With SRN News, I'm Rich Emerson.